You may begin.
Hi, my name is Chubi Mbao, pronouns he, they, and I'm a third-year criminology major. And I would like to thank you for nominating me to be your financial vice president for the year of 2021 and 2022, and for providing me with an opportunity to give back to the PASS community. Like Nika, I'm also a third-year transfer, and I just recently joined PASS this school year, but the organization has quickly found a place in my heart. Programs like HSO membership and our community Discord especially have solidified my PASS as a part of my college experience, and I aim to cultivate and nurture the welcoming environment that PASS has embraced me with. I feel that I would be best equipped to do that as a financial vice president. I feel confident to be your financial vice president because of my previous experience as a board member for high school clubs, my jobs in food and community service industry, and my time in the Spring Shadow program, and who I am as a person. During high school, I attended several leadership positions as a general officer for my outdoors club, a performance instructor, junior treasurer, and club president for Pacific Islanders Club. And during these positions, I was taught to budget events using event history and consideration of current events as well. I also hosted several club socials like a beginning of the year ice cream social, a winter hot chocolate social, and an end of the year social. Continuing on, I coordinated several fundraisers, from food stands, collaborating with stores around us, and an annual luau fundraiser. During my senior year, I actually made the record for the annual luau fundraiser in its 17th year, and it still um, remains the record for a record of $2,000 profit, ending in only $900. Because of this, I was able to start a Pacific Islanders Club scholarship, providing $250 each year to two students who have shown devotion to the club throughout their high school career. Additionally, I have experience designing and creating club merchandise for both clubs. Furthermore, my time at several food service jobs has provided me with the knowledge to learn how fundraising works for several different companies, and I aim to use that knowledge in order to gain fundraising for PASS as well. I understand how difficult it is to find sponsorships for fundraising events, and am determined to work my absolute hardest in order to do so. I also worked at a community service office where I learned to keep records and data organized in order to prevent any issues from coming up in the future. Furthermore, I am in the Spring Shadow program where I'm shadowing both Kalia and French, and while it barely started, I'm excited to gain a better understanding of being on Passport as well as improve my administrative and communication skills through the tasks that they give me. Finally, I'm very open-minded and am willing to take on any constructive criticism and hear out any suggestions that someone may have for PASS. I'm determined to work alongside you and to make your suggestions happen if they can prove to have a positive impact on our organization. Now, as an FVP, I aim to help grow the welcoming community and PASS, or welcoming environment and PASS for all students that join in the coming year. I will do this through expanding our fundraising options, giving proper funding to events, organizing and reimbursing funds properly, and finally, by designing more PASS merch. From my understanding, our food stand fundraisers on Ring Road were integral to the growth of PASS, and I would like to expand on that. I would like to try out other avenues like social media fundraising and fundraising collaborations with local stores at UTC. Given my previous experience in fundraising, I am excited to apply my knowledge in order to help grow PASS's funds in order to give the board the best possible funding to create great events and socials. Additionally, I am confident from my previous experience that I will be able to allocate the proper funds towards socials and large events like CAP. However, I admittedly do not know much about retreats, but I am ready to learn. I aim to use both the budget history from previous years with similar events alongside my own projections due to weather and current events. Furthermore, I aim to keep organized records of all our events to help out future board members when they must work on budgeting and to help ensure that everyone is properly reimbursed for their contributions. Finally, I will decide more past merch like shirts and sweaters since the pandemic prevented us from having them this year, and I would like to make shirts that are affordable for all past members to have and wear to our socials, retreats, and even meetings. Overall, I'm excited to grow PASS as a group and welcome more students to expanding our fundraising options, giving proper funding to events, organizing and reimbursing funds properly, and by creating stylish PASS merchandise. And thank you for once again, thank you for nominating me to be your financial vice president for the year of 2021 and 2022. And I look forward to working alongside all of you if you'll have me.
Thank you, Tubi. We will now move into the Q&A section. So you're all, you good? Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. You previously mentioned during our platform about traditional past fundraisers and some new ideas. So virtual learning during this past year has made fundraising a very difficult feat for many of our organizations, including PASS. How do you plan to revamp traditional past fundraisers to help our org eventually prosper into the future?
One of the fundraising ideas that I have, Jesse seemed to really like it, but social media fundraisers, similar to how we did the compassion project like bingo board. I've seen that other organizations will do the same thing, except they'll put like activities and things to fill out and do on your social media if they hit that fundraising goal. So that is something I especially want to do. I also would like to work with local stores. As a lot of people know, I work at Choffer Tea, and we are very open to fundraising there, and I would really like to do fundraising over there.
Thank you. Okay, our next question. We acknowledge that every board member has other priorities besides PASS, but how will you show your support for the rest of your board while balancing your activities?
So because I've always worked throughout my life, I already have like a really good understanding of the deciding like or trying to manage my time between both class, social life, and clubs, especially. And I will absolutely do my hardest to make a lot of time for PASS because I really appreciate PASS dearly. And so I will definitely like take less hours at work because I do not mind. I absolutely love this organization and I want it to grow. So I definitely want to put all of my time and all whatever I can do to help it and our board members to help it grow.
Thank you. For the third question, handling fundraisers and sponsorships are two major proponents to being FVP, but success in these two regards can sometimes be challenging. How do you plan on balancing your role as FVP and as a board member that may need to help fulfill certain duties by positions that could be vacant?
I think I would like Myra said, we are a team, and I think that we also already need to communicate with each other and talk to each other about each of our responsibilities, and definitely we would look at our class loads and things like that. So um, while sorry, it would be difficult to ensure that all of these fundraisers and sponsorships work out well. I would definitely try to share my workload and help them out as much as I can and ask them for help whenever I need it as well.
Thank you. Now I'd like to open up to any other questions that anyone may have and to utilize the chat box. Okay. One from Julia. So as FVP, you would not have a main event to plan like other board positions, but rather you would continually hold events. How would you prevent or work through burnout in the responsibilities of your position?
Um, so, oh, sorry. So burnout is a very human thing, of course, and like we all said, we are human first, and we do need our mental health breaks. But I am also very determined and very open to outside help and communicating to people that I would appreciate help. But I am also um, super. All right, not really. Thinking. I will try my absolute hardest, of course, and put my all into um, holding these events consistently, but also by maintaining my own distance from the enough a healthy distance from the event in order for me to maintain my my own mental health as well. I would allow them to coordinate it as much as they need.
Thank you. Oh, someone's quick. The next question is by Kalia. So hosting weekly fundraisers in the past was a task that usually required multiple helpers throughout the day. How do you plan on managing this with a smaller board?
So I was actually hoping that I would be able to rely on more of the organization as a whole and not just the board itself. Of course, because of the smaller board, we can't just rely on just us. So I would try to enlist helpers the from PASS who are willing and have the time to help us out in our fundraisers.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? We could take one more. Oh, I'm sorry. I just saw. I apologize. I just noticed an order. Okay, I'm going to write this one or read this one aloud. By John. If elected, there are going to be a handful of times when you will be asked or expected to provide funding for certain events and meetings. What factors would you take into consideration when approving or revising funding requests from those on your board?
So some of the things that I would take into consideration is any our recent fundraising events, if we've made a lot of profit or not, our current funds, and also if we have any similar events in the past that occurred at a similar time, then I would also be looking at that. And depending on those, I would decide how much would the um, fundraiser need included, and I would also be looking at like the current weather, if it's like finals, if people are going to be out a lot, things like.
Thank you. Alrighty, that concludes your platform, Juby. So thank you again. Joel claps. I'm going to stop recording.